How's it going, everybody? We are back for yet another video. Today we are out here at Independence Park and I'm playing one of the most important practice rounds of my life so far. So basically, the reason I'm out here, if you haven't ever watched it, on the Foundation Disc Golf channel right now, I'm doing a series called Break 57 where I come out to this very course, a super difficult one, and I try and break 57 once per month. Well, the reason this month's break episode is so important is because there is something huge on the line. Brody Smith offered to buy me a PlayStation 5 if I can complete the challenge during the month of June. And that's really important because I really want to play the new NCAA football game that's coming out. So, yeah, may not be the most ambitious goal, but I really want to break it. So this month is super important. The other new thing going on I want to mention, you may have already noticed, is I'm wearing a new shirt. I finally have launched some merch. On the front here, it says Staub Mob. I had this idea commented a few times. Obviously, Mob is spelled M-A-U-B, like my last name is spelled. And then on the back, I'll throw up a graphic, but it basically is an ode to all the people that don't know anything about disc golf and always call it a frisbee. And I jokingly like kind of poke fun at that with the whole like, it's not a frisbee, it's a disc. This sport is serious kind of thing. So hopefully you like the design. I think it turned out pretty well. Shout out Lucas, my designer that helped me out with that. And that's live at foundationdiscs.com right now. If you want to check out these shirts, they're print on demand. So as soon as you order one, it'll be printed and shipped to you. So check that out if you want to support the channel and grab some Staub Mob merch. I think they turned out well. Let me know what you think in the comments. But we're going to get into this practice round. The way this round's going to go is I'm not just going to be playing a straight 18 because I don't want to accidentally break 57 today. That would stink. I'm going to be going mostly to the key holes. I don't know if I'll play every hole, but just trying to decide a strategy to stick to. Throwing a few different shots off the tee, throwing mostly tee shots. And yeah, just trying to get a plan of attack because this upcoming Wednesday, I'm filming this on Saturday. This video comes out, you're watching it probably Monday. And then Wednesday is when I'll be filming for the next break episode that'll come out later in the month. So that's the timeline. So we're starting on hole 1. This is probably one of the most simple ones, but it is really important because it's a par 3 across the water. The gap does keep getting smaller with these trees growing in, but basically it's throw a hard straight mid-range. Maybe I'll try smoothing a fairway, see if I like that. And you cannot make worse than par here. Birdie would be great. I've had a lot of birdie looks in this hole. But yeah, it's just don't make bogey or else your round is already in jeopardy. Since I'm just getting loose, I might start just by trying to smooth the fairway. You can't really go long because of how many trees are in there. So the fairway is not the worst play, honestly. Just got back from playing Maple Hill yesterday. My arm's a little sore. Subtle flex there. Yeah, that's perfectly safe. Huh. Didn't see it. Must have just kicked up into the woods. Not bad. We'll try another fairway here. The Maverick. Maybe I will go fairway. It pins back there in this long pin. Oh, that's really nice. I kind of like that. That might be an ace. Oh my gosh. I'll throw one mid, but I'm kind of liking the fairway there. Let's try this Trust. I just put this back in my bag. It's really straight. I ripped over on it. It's safe. I'm kind of liking the fairway because you have to throw it less hard. I think the new plan might be fairway, but this hole is not a super difficult one. Ended up nice and parked with this Maverick. This is a great shot. But the thing about this hole is, like I said, all 3 of those shots I just threw, the other 2 were easy pars, just layups for par. And though I am going to have to score at some point, you know, obviously breaking 57 means that, and if that's par, you know, you can't break par without scoring. You're going to have to make at least, you know, at the very least 1 birdie in all pars. But I'm going to make bogeys out here, so there has to be birdies. This would be a great hole to do it. But for each hole, I kind of have a range. My range on this hole, I'm putting down as 2 to 3. Anything outside of that is a disaster. But that's, and I know that sounds harsh, but like, that's how precarious this playthrough is going to have to be for me to do it. But 3 is in my range. The 2 is still technically the bonus. I'm just going to need to get some of those bonuses. And this wouldn't be a bad place to do it because it's pretty straight away. Although that tee shot does get increasingly scary with these tree limbs. All right, so hole 2 is one that I'm considering a strategy change. Oh, I forgot to mention about the shirts earlier, by the way. This one I'm wearing is white. We do have a few different color options. So if you're not feeling the white one, Just going to continue to plug that. Check out the shirt, foundationdisc.com. Anyways, this hole, par 4, it's 625 to the shorts. You're going up this hill, and then it kind of goes left and into another opening, like a clearing. Now, I've been throwing driver on this hole, distance driver that is, because I didn't really see the point in not doing that. There's water on the left early that I wanted to take out of play. But I think I want to change strategies because I think it takes a really perfect drive for me to have a shot at birdie and a really far drive. And I'm trying to smooth the disc out there. So I think I'm going to change strategies to trying to go mid off the tee, hyzer chip to the top of the hill or just inside of that next clearing, and then up and down. I'm going to see how that works because second shot of the day, nerves are flowing, trying to rip a driver like perfectly up that hill is not really the best play. So I think I'm going to go like straight mid out there, stall it up and let it try to crash down. I just put this archive in my bag. I took out the shark because I'm sick and tired of the comments. This is not as overstable, but it should go left if I throw it flat. So I'm going to just try and coast that out there nice and smooth. I just want to see where this lands. Like, where does this put me, you know? See, that's in the water. Okay, I had an archive in my bag. I took out the shark because people didn't like it. The archive is now swimming with the sharks. This is interesting because I thought that the mid-range strategy was like the no-brainer. And to be fair, that was a horrendous shot. That was, you know, I came out with like hyzer and super high, and that's why it went into the water. But if I throw a driver hard, there's no chance I end up in the water unless I kick off like the first tree. So I think that was probably good I did that because that shows me there is a scenario where I could go mid-range and actually end up in the water. And I know I could just throw it harder, but at that point, I might as well like disc up. Maybe I'll just go fairway though. I'm going to just try to go stalker and just smooth it out there. Something flippier here. There we go. See, that is easier than the distance driver still. Right into the middle of the hill. And from there, that's a spot I feel like I can make a lot of pars from. I'll try and rip on the distance driver just to see if I can get one up there. But like, I just don't think even if this lands in a good spot that I can make birdie really. So like I hit that pretty well, but low. And as a result, like I'm only like 20 feet further than the fairway driver. It's just not worth it. So maybe it's not a mid because that was a disaster. I guess I'm playing one mid-range down the rest of this round, but fairway driver, smooth it out there, get it in play. Yeah, from this spot, I mean, I'm almost to the mouth of the gap. I can take something flippy, just push a hyzer up there, and should have a pretty easy up and down as I yank it straight into the trees. There we go. Yeah, that's what we're looking to do. I will say though, that blue drive did get to a spot where I could attack more, but like I said, I just don't think this is a birdie hole for me. At the end of the day, the beginning of this round is all about me, you know, quieting the nerves, getting into the round without getting hurt. So if I can get through the first handful of holes, you know, first 5 or 6 and still be like par, that's a great place to be. This upshot is also kind of tricky. A lot of trouble right behind the basket. I think that's good. Yeah, you just don't want to go long. But like I said, yeah, hole 1, maybe get the birdie, but hole 2, and especially the next couple, are just like make pars, get into the round. Because if I can get far enough into the round that I have some belief in myself, that's going to go a long way. There isn't really a strategy to hole 4. It's just try to hit a gap. And there is quite a few holes. The ones I'll kind of brush over and not really play on this video are the ones where it's like the only play is just try and hit the gap with something that you can hit the gap with. There isn't a lot of like landing zone, this or that. It's just like get as far down this hill as I can to hopefully make a 3. As I say that, I pure it. And that was a really good shot. And it's not a birdie look, I don't think, but like that's an easy par and that's fantastic. Just hitting that gap is what matters. Hole 4, similar to hole 3. It just really asks for a tight gap hit initially, but the rest of the hole is pretty straightforward, no OB. The creek plays casual. So that's the thing about these first 4 holes. They're very important for my round, obviously. And I would define it as like the first stretch of the round. And holes 1 and 2 don't ask for any difficult golf shots. Holes 3 and 4 ask for 1 off the tee. So if I can throw 2 really good shots and the rest of my shots are fine, I should be par or better through 4 holes. So that's what we're doing here. We're just going wraith, trying to smooth the gap. Perfect. That's actually really perfect. Is that an ace? Oh my gosh. All right, I might, gosh, I gotta stop wasting the good shots. I find that when I smooth that wraith, instead of trying to like really hit a hyzer flip hard, it works so well. That went just over top of the basket. I actually went long of the basket, just long with the, just kind of the smooth drive approach, which tells me all I need to know. It's just outside, I think. Oh, straight into the creek. Ooh, that's a scary one to run. It's not OB. That tells me all I need to know about the smooth drive technique, where like I actually end up throwing the disc probably further when I just focus on being smooth. And it's just hard to commit to that sometimes, but like I was coming up short a lot of times on this hole, ripping it, and I just smoothed it. And if you use the right disc that's flippy enough, I got past the basket. Hole 5 here, I definitely have some decisions to make. So this is a 320-foot par 3. The basket sits down to the right on the creek bank, and the creek and beyond is OB on this hole. So there's already, this is like the first hole where there's really a disaster in play by going out of bounds. I've tried the hyzer flip mid, I've tried the hyzer flip driver, I've tried just the turnover mid, and I haven't had any success with this hole, at least making birdie or getting good looks. It's been usually scrambling for par. And par's fine here, but I just need to decide if it's worth it for me to try to make birdie or if I just need to throw a straight mid just at the widest part of the gap. I'm going to see what happens if I do that. Just throw it at the widest part of the gap, just try to make par. And I still let it go left, and that's jail. It doesn't matter what you do if you throw an awful shot. There we go. So like, let's see what that shot does. So that's probably like, if I hit the gap on that line, that's one of the worst case scenarios. Just kind of hit the tree line, kick down. I want to know what it's like to scramble from there. I think the more aggressive lines take something like an F7 and try and smooth like a slow hyzer flip. I still don't know if that's worth it at all. See, like I tugged that. Okay, I got a good kick, but yeah, I think it might just be throwing up the middle here. Yeah, like let's see where these end up. Super safe, even got a little bit of counter skip. I want to know how hard it is to scramble from there. Okay, this was the bad shot, and this is not super difficult scramble. The good one that got into the hallway with the putter is like very easy jump putt. This one is maybe a jump putt, but it's a little bit awkward. But like, I don't hate giving myself these odds when off the tee you're facing so much danger, so I might still try this. This is just kind of a weird spot here. I'm a little bit pinched. Let's see if I just were to jump it hard where I can get to. That one went left. But like, that's a 20-footer for 3. Stepped on my disc. That's a 20-footer for 3. I don't know. This hole, it's a weird one. Because like, I should be able to execute the drive that attacks the pin, but I still don't know if it's worth it. I don't want par putts from this range, but I'm going to have to make at least 5 or 6 during the round if I want to do it. And just not do that. That's it. I mean, that's with this round. Even if I'm throwing the disc well, still gonna have to make those crucial par putts or birdie putts or even a bogey save, and you know, that's disc golf. We'll see what happens. All right, we're on to hole 8 now. I skipped 6 and 7 just because those holes are a very straightforward plan of attack for me. It's just long par 3s that I can't really reach, flip up forehands to try to get to a good spot to scramble. They're like the exact same game plan, so not really any use in evaluating that. Hole 8 is a pretty simple game plan, but I really need to get this hole down better because I've been struggling on it, and I think it should be an easy par. I think I'm just not executing my drives well enough. I mean, you're really just pushing a drive up there as far as you can and then crashing at the end, hoping you get lucky. But I just need to be better at hitting this gap, and I want to toy around with the idea of maybe throwing like a flex line instead of the hyzer flip and just see what happens. I should mention it's like 1,000% humidity today. This course gets super humid, I think because of the creek, especially when you're down those lower levels. And we're just in Virginia, and I'm losing a lot of fluids today. Miss that tree. See that? I don't hate. That could be pretty good, because the thing about the flex line is it does tend to let you go left more at the end, which is inside, and that's actually how you have to get to the basket. If you push it all the way out, you have to get really lucky to get a look at the basket. Let me try that again. I'll go more of a stable. I'll just put this Skystone PD2 in here. Yeah, that's good too. Oh, I don't hate that line. Okay, that one got hit, so we got two good examples. I think I might go with the flex line. I kind of like that. I'll throw one hyzer flip with the grace like I've been doing. This one, it's an uphill shot, and when I'm uphill on hyzer flip, I am very prone to left. I didn't flip that all the way. I mean, not the worst drive ever. Yeah, I think I'm just more comfortable with the flex on this shot, and I haven't tried that yet, so I'm kind of excited to try that out. Yeah, the more I assess this green, the more it makes sense. Like, although I'm seeing, yeah, that grace is like 15, 20 feet. It's very clear that left is the answer because getting stuck up there to the right, you're throwing more downhill at the pin. It's tougher to scramble. Like this time-lapse drive is a much easier, like just kind of throw it there, lay it up for par. So yeah, I think I like the flex. I mean, the hyzer ended up working out, but the flex shot overstable, it's more likely to get left and be an easier par here. But yeah, that grace had to get so lucky to get there. I mean, there's so many trees on the left, but it's an easier place to scramble from because of the hill. Okay, skipped hole 9 because once again, it's another hole, very difficult hole, but the game plan is super straightforward. You just have to hit the gap off the tee and you're fine. So that's the front 9. I feel pretty good about our plan. To recap, hole 1, we're gonna go up to a fairway. Hole 2, we're gonna go down to a fairway. 3 is the same. 4, we're gonna try and throw a smoother shot on 4. 5, we're gonna focus on getting off the tee into the gap and laying up basically, not really trying to attack it for birdie. Same game plan for 6, same game plan for 7. Hole 8, we're gonna try the flex shot. 9, same game plan. So quite a few switches there. Now we're on to the back 9. This is really the scoring 9. The goal on that front 9, I believe I have to shoot 2 under to course par as it is right now because they've changed the baskets to beat this challenge. I need to be 1 over or better on that front, in my opinion. And I think that's going to require me to go like get a birdie and 2 bogeys. That's probably the recipe because 3 under on the back 9 would be really good. That's probably the best I could do. And it starts here on 10. Very gettable hole. Long tunnel shot here. You can throw a mid-range to get it there. And you just got to keep the disc from fading out left. Now, what I've been trying to do, and what I've done for a long time this hole, is try to throw a flat shot that slowly turns and drops. However, that throwing anything with stability is leaving me way too vulnerable to going way left, and that's not good. So I'm going to try and throw something flippier, even though I don't like to. Actually, psych. Before I do that, I'm going to try throwing the trust flat, because this is not as stable as the shark I was trying to throw. And I'm going to try and keep it low and just see if I can... Like I used to be able to park this hole with that type of shot. Let's see what happens. Like right there. Okay. Oh my gosh. That tree branch caught that thing like it was a mitt and that disc was a baseball. Like that was literally parked. I like that line a lot. And here's the good news. I didn't throw that disc super hard and I gave it just a little bit of anhyzer and it was not coming back left. I think as long as I keep it low, I think that's a good one. I'll throw one more, but I'll throw the Supra, and this is a new Supra. I lost my other one, so it's a little more stable, but that I think that trust could be the play. I heard you yanked it over. That was so bad. Kick back to the middle, though. Oh, sit down. All right, almost the same spot. Yeah, I think the trust, low and flat, that's the play here. All right, yeah, that trust ended up in a really easy spot to scramble from. Not a big deal. Easy par. That is one that you'd like to get a chance at birdie. The thing about this course is none of these holes are going to jump out at you and be like, oh, this is the one I make birdie on. Any birdie is going to take a really good shot or a couple of shots. So you have to just, you can't play the whole round thinking par, 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 par. You got to score eventually. Now we're at hole 11, difficult hole. It's only 320. It cuts left, but it's this gap. It's a really weird gap. There's a tree directly in the middle of the fairway. Personally, I'm not really a fan of that. I think that this hole would be better if that tree was gone or at least this tee was positioned differently. I think it's like, it's asking for a sawed-off shot. I don't really love that. If you get on this side of the tee pad, it's not as bad. It's just really tight. This is a flip-up fairway or mid for me. I just need to practice this shot. Trying to keep this disc like through that gap and online because it's just a really difficult shot for me to throw. But I'm going to try and work the tee pad geometry into my favor here. And that's usually my miss. So I get timid and I leave it left like that. Yeah. See, that sucks too, though. Like, I mean, man, this is a hard shot. I think I need to just play as if I'm hitting that middle tree. And my form will naturally pull it left off of that. Because I just can't keep missing left, realistically. But like, look at that, left, 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 3 in a row. That one skipped way down the hill. It's such a bad miss. I guess I need to go F7. Like, if I'm gonna baby it, I just gotta go really flippy. I'm short arming every shot. At least that one kicked right. Just can't convince myself to commit to it. Straight left. This tee shot, this just shows you how bad I am at this tee shot. I've missed every single one. That was like 6 throws. I'm short arming it every time. That one's probably pretty far down there. I got super sneaky. I get to hear my form and I just pull it instead of snapping it through. You're not gonna get any spin like that. I'm gonna attack it this way. Ooh, that worked. Huh. Okay, I guess I need to actually attack it from the inside of the tee pad. And that, for whatever reason, helps me more. It's a tough hole. Got to make something happen, though. Okay, we've jumped over to 14 now. 12 and 13 I skipped because I play those holes relatively competently, and they're very straightforward, especially 13. Not really a lot of game planning there. Now, 14 doesn't really need a lot of game planning, but it needs practice. We got a 400-foot tunnel shot that finishes hard left. Not reachable for me. It's uphill the whole way, just slightly. It probably plays like 450. I'm going to try and carry over that principle I was just working on, trying to run up more straight on this tee pad to hit this gap, because I think a lot of times I still like to attack it from an angle, close my body off, and I go left. So I'm going to try and go straight on and we're just trying to hit the middle. Hit the middle. That's the goal here. Fairway finder. Just like that. That's a great shot. Oh, okay. Iron branch, shot it left. But like, that's what we want. Just consistently hit that gap right down the middle. That's another good one. Turn a little bit. Yeah, that's another good one. Let's see if I can hit 3 in a row. Okay, that one was a little bit left, but still, like, initially hit the gap, and that pushed up there great. I'm telling you guys, man, running from an angle might have really been hurting myself, because, man, when I'm running straight at it, that sounds smart, but like, my whole life I've run from an angle. A lot of players do, but I'm not good at pulling across my body. Running straight at it, I'm hitting this gap with a lot more success. Let's go for another one. I mean, I threw 3 good shots here. I mean, look at that. That was the wrong disc. That turned over, but still went through the middle of the gap to start. That could be huge for me. If I can use that principle well on this course, I mean, that is 4 shots that didn't hit early, and I've hit early a lot on this hole. And if you get all the way down there, par is not a huge task. This could be a big breakthrough. All right, we're on hole 15 now. I'm excited about this one because this is another hole I need a lot of work on. Really, 15 and 16 are probably the last 2 I'll play, because 17 and 18, I haven't had a lot of trouble on those holes. They're pretty straightforward, and the most trouble I would have on those holes would be the pressure I would be facing if I was actually in contention to break 57. So this hole starts out really similar to, I think it's 11 that we were working on, where it's this weird low ceiling tight gap to start. So I'm going to try and run up from straight on, attack it the way I was attacking these last couple holes, and see if it works out, because it's only 440. If you pump a drive down there, you can birdie this hole. I've done it before on this series. So I'm going to go stalker first and just try and run it straight, split the middle. I mean, look at that. It's high, but right down the middle. And look at it go. Holy cow. It's way down there. I'm not even kidding you. Have I been, like, for the last decade? Did I skip a hole? Wait, what hole is behind me right now? Guys, I skipped a hole. I walked to the... I always do this. I walked to the 16th tee when I forgot. I thought I was on 15. This is 16. 15, you have to walk back that way. Okay, I need to walk back and play 15. Anyways, have I for the last like decade plus been just running up from the wrong part of the tee pad? Because I've just thrown 5 shots right where I wanted them in a row. And that doesn't really happen for me. Well, we'll get to that drive in a bit. I'm actually going to go back and play 15 first, and then we'll go to that drive. Sorry for the confusion. Actual hole 15 here, and you guessed it, this is yet another hole, par 3 this time, where this new principle I'm working on, and by principle I mean just common sense I'm working on, can come into play. I think I'm starting to realize that this course might just exploit my poor run-up technique worse than any other course in the area. Maybe I just flipped the script. I'm going to go Maverick, try to run straight at it, and you're looking for like an inside pushing hyzer flip, because this is a birdieable hole, and it could be a key hole as I'm finishing down the stretch here, because realistically, on the finishing stretch of this course, like 13, 14, or 12, 13 are gettable, 14 not really, not at all really. And then 15 and 16, 17, and 18 are all gettable. So there's a lot of birdies available. All right, I'm going straight at it here. Okay, still came out left. In fairness, this gap is different than the other ones. It should still be the same thing. I wasn't an awful release. Let's try again. There we go. That's better. Okay, missed the trees too. Ooh. Yeah, you have to get a little bit lucky on this hole, and that one did get lucky. I'm going to throw one more. I think that's the same inside gap. Wow. Skip in. Oh my gosh, that one's even more parked. Okay. Now, I did just miss like 2 trees that are kind of close together on both those shots, but it's kind of the way you got to play this hole. Both of those second and third drives are inside C1, which is great. I'd love to have more birdie chances on this hole because it's not far. It's really not a far hole at all. Try and make a putt here. That will be nothing more frustrating than if I actually throw well all day and just can't putt. Those are 2 good lines. I'm just really struggling to get pop at the moment. I'm so used to using my whole arm. I'm trying to do more of a wrist thing. There it is. I just have to trust my wrist. Because when I trust my wrist, I really pop it and I get all the spring I need. But when I don't and I try and just straight arm it, it comes out so dead. I can't rely on my whole arm anymore, which is fine. Like, it needs to happen. You will never be a good putter if you don't trust your wrist and like pop the disc. That's the bottom line. All the best putters in the world do, and that's the reality no matter how you try and putt, because I've tried a billion different ways. You've got to trust your wrist. Okay, now we're going to head to that drive I threw on 16 now, since we're on the right hole. All right, so I'm here at my drive on 16, and here's the thing about this hole. I mentioned it's only 440, so even though this drive wasn't great and it's left, because it was clean the whole way, I'm probably 100 feet from the basket. And even though this scramble isn't the easiest, like I think I'd have to throw almost a roller, maybe just kind of do one of those numbers. Hey, and look at that, inside the circle. Even though I have to do that, it's still guaranteed par and birdie chance. So getting a clean drive on this hole could be very, very big for my rounds. Boom. That was a nice putt. See, when I trust my wrist, I throw a great putt. It's just hard to do that in a tournament setting. All right, there we go. Hole 16 done. Like I said, not going to play 17 and 18. I play those holes pretty well. You know, I think they're very straightforward. Another thing about practice is you don't want to get too fatigued or you'll start throwing bad shots. You'll get frustrated. It's like 88 degrees out with 100% humidity today, so that's starting to wear on me. It's time to get on with it. It's like my 4th round of disc golf in the last 3 days, all at really long courses. So time to get on with the day, I should say. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Obviously, this was kind of meant to set up a future video coming out on Foundations channel. My Break 57 attempt will come out in early to mid-June. So keep an eye on Foundations channel for that. That's what I'm practicing for. I'll be playing for that PlayStation 5. It should be a really exciting round. Even if I blow up, it'll be pretty exciting because I'll be probably yelling and screaming at myself. But I'm happy with how I played today. Like I said, I didn't expect my biggest breakthrough to be on the tee pad from a stance point. But yeah, I figured out some game plans too that I liked, and I feel confident that I could give this a real chance if I'm throwing the disc well. Once again, if you've watched this entire video and you're still here, thank you for supporting the channel. You can check out this Staub Mob shirt. I'd really, really appreciate it if you check this one out. FoundationDisc.com, link is in the description. It helps support the channel, and it means a ton to me. I really hope you like the design. I thought this was something that people would think is cool, kind of like a trendy design, but also like a funny kind of play on disc golf with the whole Frisbee reference. Oh, I should also mention the spelling of Frisbee. If you're like, why is Frisbee spelled with a Z instead of an S? That's for copyright reasons, because Whammo owns the copyright to the Frisbee spelled with the S's as you would typically see it. So a little inside information for you there. But yeah, thanks for watching the channel. Appreciate all the support. We're almost at 25,000 subscribers. We're gonna have a massive giveaway, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because we will be doing a huge giveaway at 25K subscribers. You'll have to be subscribed to enter, so make sure to get on board with that. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next Monday with some more content.